like wide open spaces, let me tell you where the place is. Head out for Texas, USA. If you like blue bonnets bloomin' and a state where there's some room in, head out for Texas, USA. If you come from California, Kokomo or Hackensack, let me warn you all may never go back. If you like real southern cookin' and your women all good lookin', head out for Texas, USA.
Play one, Hugh. Everybody sing this one.
If you like wide open spaces, let me tell you where the place is. Head out for Texas, USA. If you like blue bonnets bloomin' and a state where there's some room in, head out for Texas.
Hey, patrol members, and welcome back to The Bar is Open. The bar is open over here. You can see the bar is open. And I want to thank everybody for joining me. I've had a little bit of a busy week. It's my granddaughter's birthday, and we had to do some stuff for our trip, the planning we were making for the trip. I took some time away from things and went to a memorial service for a relative and going to a birthday party on the day you're seeing this. So, yeah, it's going to be a busy week. And I got doctor's appointments next week, and I got to help a buddy fix his car next week, and yeah, some kind of weird bug. Anyway, enough about me. I hope everything's going fine for you guys. I hope things are doing good. I hope everything is well with you and your families. So, let's get crack-a-lackin' here. We've had this cigar on here before, and I'm reprising it. Can I make the trash can? No. Oh well. We have an Odyssey Maduro. I've had one of these on the show before. And I think we're going to drill it. It's really weird here. The weather is strange. We've had a lot of partially cloudy skies, and that's very unusual this time of year. The daytime here in this area, it's 90 degrees in the daytime, and right now in the bunker it's 79 degrees. But tonight it's going to get down in the 50s. Which makes for very comfortable sleeping weather. I know in the southern parts of the world right now it's winter. A friend of mine made a suggestion to make a cedar snuffer, and I'm going to do that. That's a great idea. Thanks for the idea. And that friend is also a subscriber. That's a really smooth cigar. Very smooth. Well, I guess depending on where you live in the world, you might have heard that we had an earthquake here in California. And by California standards, it wasn't very big. It was 5.6 on the Richter scale. And there was damage. You know, a lot of stuff fell off shelves and stores and homes and broke. But I don't think anybody was killed. And I don't think anybody was really badly injured, but I could be incorrect. But it happened north of here, way north of here, north of San Francisco, in a place called Willits. And Willits is the place where the skunk train originates and goes to Fort Bragg and then comes back. The wife and I and the kids rode that a number of years ago, and we really enjoyed it. And then there was an earthquake, a very powerful earthquake in Venezuela, and I hear that was incredibly destructive. People were killed, and I'm sorry to hear that. So if I have any viewers in Venezuela, did I say Australia? No! Venezuela. I had Australia on the mind. There was a very powerful earthquake in Venezuela, and there was a lot of destruction, and people were killed. If I have any viewers in Venezuela, I'm really sorry that that happened in your country. I really, truly am. I hate to see that happen any place in the world. You know, I bear no animosity to any people of any nation. A few governments of other nations I do, but the people, no. We're going to talk about the people more in getting closer to our 250th anniversary. Well, I have a whiskey that I've been wanting to buy for a while, but I had to wait till it was on sale. And here it is. It's called Longhorn. Straight Texas Rye Whiskey. Texas grown, distilled, and aged. Batch number 54,203. I guess they've made quite a bit of it. I have a bottle of Rough Rider whiskey that says batch 1. It's 80 proof. And I like the shape of the bottle. It's kind of got like this boat-like shape. It's got a little symbol here pressed into the bottle. It says Longhorn on it. It's got a cork. I think it's a real cork. Okay. And I'm going to read you the particulars. I had pizza for dinner, and man, it's barking at me. Between 1493 and 1512, that was a long time ago, the first herd of 200 Spanish cattle, including Merenda, Retinto, and Grande Prieto breeds, was driven into Texas. Over the next 2 centuries, the Spanish castle breeds mixed with the English cattle to create what we know today as the Texas Longhorn. Having family roots in both Spain and Texas, we were inspired to create this native Texas whiskey, Longhorn. This whiskey is made with Braceto and Elbone variations of rye locally grown in the high plains of Texas. And it says distilled and bottled by Gulf Coast Distillers in Houston, Texas, and aged not less than 2 years out of Sky. 12 years out of Sky. Longhorn, 2 years. But it doesn't make any claims. There's no claims here about scent, aroma, and flavors and things like that. Now for the important particulars. All right? Government warning. According to the Surgeon General, this guy right here, women should not drink alcoholic beverages during pregnancy because of the risk of birth defects. Hang on. I'm really sorry. I had a colossal sneeze coming on. And I didn't want to sneeze all over the place. Because of the risk of birth defects. These. Consumption of alcoholic beverages impairs your ability to drive a car or operate machinery. We don't want to make this guy's mistake over here. Right? All right. And may cause health problems. We don't want any health problems, do we? Not in the least, not in the least. This has got a nice light color. Let's rip this open. It's got a little tail strip back here that is obviously has no function whatsoever. There we go. Can we make the trash can? Nope. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I can't hit the broadside of a barn. Let's break the seal here. In the old days, there used to be a tax stamp here. Now there's no tax stamp. Okay, we ready? Here it comes. Not a bad pop. Not a bad pop. That has an immediate aroma. Yes. Moo. Let's get it in a, let's give it a little bit more surface area. Put it where you can see it right there. A GI lighter from World War II. It's not a Zippo. It's self-contained. You have to fuel it through the bottom, and there's the little hole for the flint. And it's completely self-contained. And I had to put a new wick in this, and that was really difficult, pulling all this cotton out and reinserting cotton, and it was tough. On with the whiskey. It's got a really nice color. I can smell the wide open plains of Texas. With a little touch of the Rio Grande. What was that song? If you like that Southern cooking and your women all good looking, reach out for Texas, USA. Ooh. Yeah, that's got a hug. But you know what? Flavor-wise, it's nice and smooth. Let's try just a sipping whiskey, huh? That is pretty good. That's another sitting around the campfire singing songs whiskey right there. If I'm in town on the 4th of July, we got something to do, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to make a video on the 4th of July. I got a very special whiskey for the 4th of July. Really special. Nope. People lighting off fireworks out there. Unlike a lot of states, California has a lot of restrictions on everything, and one of those things is fireworks. Now, when I was a kid, there were fireworks stands every place, and you could buy fireworks. But because half a dozen people either blow a finger off or set fire to something or lose an eye, 12 people do something wrong, and 30 million people aren't allowed to do that anymore. I want someone to tell me the logic in that. Where's the logic in that? That someone might get hurt? Man. If young people today, young parents today, knew what their grandparents went through when they were kids, or did, they'd start bleeding from the eyes. My granddaughter is in the Boy Scouts. Yeah, she is in the Boy Scouts. I have a grandson in the Cub Scouts and a granddaughter in the Boy Scouts. And let me tell you, I am prouder than you can imagine that I have 2 kids in the Scouts. And my granddaughter has taken to it like a fish takes to water. And I said, sweetie, can Scouts still carry knives? Well, she doesn't live in California, and I'm not sure what they tell kids in California now. And I was in the Cub Scouts at 8. I had a Cub Scout knife, and you carried it on your belt on a clip. Try that now. Try that now. And the day of your scout meeting, all the Cub Scouts in school wore their uniforms to school with the little knife clipped to their belt. Well, of course, she wanted a knife, and, you know, I followed the Cub Scout rules for Georgia, or the Boy Scout rules, and it had to have a blade, I think, under 3 inches, and it had to lock open, which is fine. At least she has a knife. And I got her a good knife. And it had, well, it had to be pink. And if you don't think that was that took a search. That took a search. But it had to be pink. But by God, she got a pink locking knife for Scouts. And I hope she carries on with the Scouts. And from now in perpetuity, I hope she's really outdoorsy. And I really hope that she does something like go into the Forest Service or forestry or something like that. Because she would be really good at that. But that's just my opinion. That's my opinion. That's Grandpa's opinion, right? So, you know. But all you parents within the sound of my voice that have kids in Scouts, have them stick with it. If you want to read something really interesting, go to a used bookstore or go on eBay and look for a Boy Scout manual or a Cub Scout manual, or even a Girl Scout manual for that fact, from the 30s or 40s. And they had requirements for kids in those days that very few young kids today would be able to do. Yeah. First off, reading the book, you know, God, I don't know how many of my adult friends listen to books online. You know, I don't have any problem with books online, or books on tape, or books on CD, or books on the internet. That's fine. That's fine. But it's not really reading. You're not really exercising your brain, using your imagination inside that book. And I'll tell you why. Because reading a book is a physical effort. You're holding the book, you're looking at the pages, you're looking at the print, you're exercising your mind. Your mind has to see the print, translate that print into words in your head. And then you should visualize a picture of what is going on in the book inside your mind. That's what reading is about. But I digress. I'm digressing. Anyway, let's have another sip of this. Better to smoke here than hereafter. Oh, yeah. This cigar is starting to canoe. Excuse me. Wow. That's better. Man. What else? I got a couple of events coming up later in the year I really want to take you with me to. One is Matt's Off-Road Recovery, his bash. He's going to have a race and a demolition derby in Utah coming up, I think, the first week of September. And I'm really looking forward to that. He was a big demolition derby guy in his younger days, and he's putting out his own demolition derby. I really want to see that. And then in Chandler, Arizona, in October, is the Duct Tape Drags, which is put on by Vice Grip Garage and David Freiberg, Derek Bieri. I really want to go to that, and if I go to that, I'm going to drag you with me. And then there's Wonder Hussy's mini adventure along Route 66, from the Route 66 Museum to Newberry Springs. It's going to be really short, but she really wants a lot of people to show up, and I'm planning on showing up. I don't know what old car I'm going to have, but at least one of them I'm going to be driving to along the old Route 66. And I really want to bring you along with me for that. So I don't know if I can go to all three, but I'm going to really try. And then, of course, there's the big Sandy machine gun shoot at the very end of October. But that's yet another event I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to at the very end of October. We'll see. And of course, the entire month of July, Mrs. Patrol and I and two of the Grand Critters are going to be on the road to Georgia. And we're going to try to see Mount Rushmore and Yellowstone. And we'll drag you along with it. That's on the way home. And we'll drag you along with us for that. Ooh, pardon me. Oh, man, that pizza. Yeah, so what's my consensus here? Well, let me tell you. Odyssey Maduro is an outstanding cigar. Longhorn whiskey, really, really good. It's campfire whiskey, and I'll be taking it with me to the desert. Maybe one of these events out in the desert I'm going to over the next couple of months. And what else? Well, I think that's about it. The other video was really long. I don't want to drag this one out too long. So, as for now, the bar is closed. Like and subscribe. I'll put it over here by this lamp here. It'll be on this side. Click the little bell. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and leave a comment. And to the Army and the Navy and the battles they have won, and here's to the flag of freedom whose colors never run, and may the wings of liberty never lose a feather. But until next time, later, Mater.